The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation, make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels, operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Spokane, Washington, on your new fire apparatus, job number 32733. Please utilize this 5-digit job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. We'll get started on a brief orientation of your new apparatus. Let's start down at the front bumper area. On the front bumper, you'll find right and left dual air horns. Just inside of that location at the frame rail, you're going to find 2 attachment points, tow hooks. Located directly in the center is your electronic siren and PA speaker. As we move up onto the body, you'll find your headlight structure, low and high beam headlights. The high beam is on the inside and the low beam is on the outside. Moving to the outer edge, you'll find the marker light turn indicator. Moving up from that location, you'll find the cluster housing emergency light and also a forward-facing turn indicator. Moving up to the very top, across the one-piece windshield, you'll find 3 windshield wipers. Here's some close-ups of those items. First, in the very center, your electronic siren PA speaker system. As we move outward from that, you'll find the dual air horns, right and left side, and then also the tow hooks. Moving out to the right and left side of the body is where you're going to find that marker light located just in the front of the hinges for the front door. As we move downwards directly from this location, you'll find a side-facing emergency warning light. This is going to be just behind the front bumper at the door hinge area. Let's look inside of the step wheel. You'll find NFPA required lights for step lighting. As we move up into the cab, you'll find your auto charge system. When plugged into shore power, this will activate. As we look inside about the left knee of the operator, you'll find the quarter turn battery switch. This is your master battery switch. Moving to the right, you'll find your engine, transmission, and diagnostic port. Moving down, you'll find a set of 4 switches. First, ABS diagnostics. Moving to the right, you'll find the DPF regen switch. And then moving to the right, you'll find engine diagnostic switch. And then on the very far right, next to the column, is where you're going to find the engine regen. Let's take a look, since we have in this image at the upper right-hand corner. This is your pump shift. We'll go over that in just a few moments. Down about the right ankle of the operator, you'll find this placard, manufactured from Pierce for Spokane Fire District number 8. It houses information here regarding the date of manufacture, the job number, which is that 5-digit number. It has gross vehicle weight ratings, cold tire inflation, the VIN number, and then also has all the information regarding fluid types and capacities. Let's move up to the dash on the left-hand side. First, let's start with this black placard. This is indicating a height of 11 feet 0 inches, length 31 feet 3 inches, and a gross vehicle weight rating of 45,000 pounds. If you make any changes to your vehicle, please update this placard. We'll move just downward from this location where we'll find the start switch. Moving further down, you're going to find the ignition switch. And then as we move just inside in the small cluster, you'll find a switch labeled EM, which stands for Emergency Master. This will allow you to activate or deactivate your emergency lights. Just inside of that, you'll find the parking and also headlights. And to the right, you'll find the panel switch, which allows you to brighten or dim the lights in the panel area. Let's jump to the other side of the column, where you'll find the OK to engage the high idle indicator and also switch. Looking at the dash, we're going to have tachometer and speedometer directly in the center. On the right, you'll find volts, fuel, front and rear air. On the left, you're going to find water temp, DEF, and also transmission temperature. A little blurred out in this image, hard to see, but diagnostic information above and below the speedometer. As we move to the right, you'll find in yellow this pull to apply your system parking brake and push to release. Just to the right, you'll find the Allison transmission pad. Down from that, you'll find the main mirror and also convex mirror controls. As we move just beneath that, you'll find the pump shift, allows you to go from road to pump or from pump to road. When exiting the cab, when engaging the pump, you need 2 green indicators, pump engaged and OK to pump. Let's move just upward from this location where you'll find the driver's side cab body scene lights and also the passenger side cab body scene lights. To the right, you'll find the front flood. Moving further to the right, driver flood, passenger flood, and rear scene. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll find the push button for your air horn, windshield wiper controls just beneath that, push to apply windshield wiper fluid. As we move downward, you'll find your engine brake on and off, and then next to it is a setting switch, which is low, medium, or high for that engine brake, load manager, mirror heat, and then a protected switch for your tire chains. Here's a couple close-ups of those things that we just talked about, the air horn and the windshield wiper control. Moving up from this location, you'll find the backup camera monitor system. And then moving to the right, you'll find a couple of warning labels here. One, caution, disengage the retarder when on slippery surfaces. And then also do not engage the tire chains above 25 miles an hour. Just beneath that, you'll find climate control. You also have two 12-volt barrel style and also your USB style 12-volt access. Let's move to the center section where you'll find on the passenger side and driver's side your push-to-talk for your radio system. Overhead directly in the center, you'll find a warning label, do not move apparatus when the light is on. That light is indicating that you have a door open or a compartment ajar, in addition with your ladder rack. Across the top over the passenger's side and driver's side, there's a set of switches. Let's first start with the driver's side, emergency master, roof light, front warning, side warning, lower rear warning, and upper rear warning. Once again, this is on the left-hand side of the driver's space. Just up from that and to the right, you'll find the high beam flash, your control for your Opticom, the selector switch for the siren and horn, and then some future switch locations if necessary. Moving further to the right, you'll find your traffic advisor. General view here of the air conditioning headsets, just looking overhead from the driver's seat toward the officer seat. As we move overhead, you'll find push on and off white or red lights. As we move to the center, you'll find your David Clark headset system. Let's move outside in the cab area. This is just behind the driver's door. You'll find the auto eject air inlet. Next to that, you'll find shoreline inlet. This is a 20 amp auto eject plug. When plugged into shore power, this will activate your battery charging system. As we move to the notched area, you'll find a side facing floodlight. Moving back down into the cab area, you'll find grab handles located at the hinge section just as you step inside the cab. Here's an image of it now. Also on all points of entry on the doors, you'll find additional warning labels. As we look inside the two cabinets, you'll find netting on the exterior section for the door, in addition with a light switch at the very top. There are LED lights and adjustable shelvings just behind that netting. Let's go ahead and look to the very center section. This is your access for your daily checks for oil and transmission. Looking overhead, you'll find your air conditioning unit. And then to the rear wall, you're going to find your firefighter seats in addition with your David Clark headset system. Inside these seats, you'll find bracketed SCBA holders. Let's move outside now. Quick look at the pump area. This is the midship location. We're going to find in this gray module at the very top the master intake and also the master discharge. These are the two master gauges. Just beneath that, you'll find the test gauge ports for vacuum and pressure. Let's move just to the left of this or toward the front section of the cab where you'll find all of your cross lays and also all of the discharges. Let's first start in the upper left-hand corner where you'll find a dead lay at the very top, meaning that there's no connection to this location. Then you have your cross lays. They are color-coded and also labeled. Moving just to the right underneath those master gauges is where you're going to find your pressure throttle governor. In the upper left-hand corner, if illuminated, would be yellow. It's the check engine. Located in the center, you'll find the RPM digital readout. To the right, if illuminated, would be in red, is a stop engine indicator. Moving down from this location, you'll find the orange menu button, allows you to scroll through the various menu functions. You'll find diagnostic information for your engine located in the very center. And then to the right, you'll find in the red, this is a silence button for the audible alarm. As we move down to the left, you'll find two buttons, either pressure or RPM throttle mode. These are the two modes you're acceptable to move into. Once you're in those modes, you'll get an information readout located in the second digital display.
And then moving to the right, you'll find a throttle ready, which allows you to engage your throttle. Down at the very bottom in the green section, you'll find a preset if pre-programmed. And then also down, you'll find your throttle control and push for idle. Just in the same gray area here, you'll find this speaker bezel on the outer edges will allow you to dampen the volume of those alarms. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll find an indicator indicating that your pump is properly engaged. As we move to the right, you'll find a set of switches. Let's first start at the very top with the panel lights, driver side scene lights, passenger side scene lights, driver side flood, passenger side flood, and then you also have a spare. Just underneath that is where you'll find your red push button for your air horn. Let's start at the top here on the left-hand side of the pump panel. I'm not going to go through all of the gauges. You can see they're clearly color-coded, but in the upper right in the red module, this is going to be your foam level indicator. And then as we move down, you'll find your test pressures for 150, 200, and 250 psi, associated tachometer reading, and also pressure. Moving further to the right, you'll find your Foam Pro. This is the operating instructions located at the very top, on-off, foam settings, and also an indicator light. This is the air horn, which I previously mentioned. Just down from that, you'll find your primer for the fire pump. And you'll see this white label just beneath the fire pump. This is your priming instructions, and you should have at least 1,000 RPMs to engage that primer. You'll also find the engine cooler. This is a twist, not a pull. And then just beneath that, you'll find your tank fill, recirculating line, and also tank to pump. Would like to point out some warning labels. Pressure warning hazard. If your caps are under pressure, be cautious when removing them. Just beneath that, only trained personnel should operate this piece of equipment only after receiving training. You also have your minimum maintenance schedule. That's the 150, 200, and 250 psi test pressures. You do have two discharge ports on this side. They are both 2.5-inch discharges. The American flag Eagle Pierce logo is your large diameter pump intake. In the lower section, you'll find a 2.5-inch auxiliary inlet. This is a female inlet. Here's some close-ups of those discharges. And then to the right, you'll find this red placard, which is your Watrous placard, indicating the type of pump that you have and also information on date of manufacture and capacity. Current capacity is 1,500 GPMs. Let's move down to the lower left where you'll find all of your color-coded black discharge drains. This is the manifold drain. You'll also find the driver's discharge auxiliary side and also a side-facing warning light. Let's move just to the right of this location where you'll find this placard, which is your minimum operation maintenance schedule. You can see it's got weekly checks in addition with checks for 6-month intervals or 100 hours of operation. Let's move down to the right-hand side. You're going to find this pan door to gain access behind lift and turn. Once you're behind that, you're going to find your information regarding calibration and flush and inject for your foam system. As we move just to the right of this location, you'll find a T-handle here, which allows you for your pump drain. This is pull to drain your entire pump. Just underneath the running board, you'll find perimeter lighting. As we move just in front of the rear wheel, you'll find your access for your fold-up wheel chock. You'll also have access behind the rear wheel for an additional wheel chock. General view, Fire District 8, Spokane County. Let's go through some of these compartments here. First, LED lighting in all of the compartments in addition with adjustable shelving. On the side, you'll find a marker light. Just up from that, you'll find SCBA bottle storage location. You can see this houses 3 bottle storage locations. It does have retaining straps inside. There are 2 SCBA and also an oxygen bottle. As we move over the rear wheel, you'll find a side-facing emergency warning light. As we move to the rear section, you'll find your DEF and diesel fuel fill location in addition with bottle storage location with a retaining strap. Currently, the silver is your ultra low sulfur diesel and the blue cap is your DEF. Let's move now to the center compartment. Just behind the D handle here, this is a lift style compartment. You'll find adjustable shelving and also LED lighting and also a grab handle at the very top of the door. Just to the rear wheel, as we mentioned earlier, wheel chock storage. This is a folding wheel chock. Let's go ahead and move around to the very back section of your apparatus. We'll cover some of the items here. First, rear compartment. Once again, inside the D-handle door. This is a 2-section door. Once it's open, you have 2 adjustable shelves, LED lighting also inside this compartment. To the very top, you'll find a side-facing scene light, and also at the very rear, an emergency warning light. We're now to the rear section. Let's go just underneath the rear bumper area, where you'll find in the very center an attachment or pull point. And then to the right and left, you'll find perimeter lighting LED located underneath the right and left side of the tailboard. As we move, we'll find at the very bottom, this is your backup, turn, brake, and an emergency warning light cluster. Just up from this location, we'll find 2 cupped light switches. First on the left, rear scene lights, and then to the right, hose bed lights. Moving up from that location, you'll find an emergency warning light, and then also rear-facing scene lights. You do have fold-down steps on the right and left-hand side, just inside of the rear step area. This is also a pan door. Let's talk about the contents behind the pan door. Lift and turn. Once you've gained access, you'll find a pike pole storage location in addition with large diameter suction hoses. 2.5-inch discharge located on the rear. Let's go to the very rear section of the apparatus, where you'll find 2 warnings here. They are both fall hazard. Also be cautious when stepping off the vehicle, and also that you should never ride on the vehicle while it's in motion. Just above the Pierce logo is where you'll find your backup camera, and directly above that backup camera is where you'll find your traffic advisor. Let's move downward from the Pierce logo to the very rear compartment. This is a roll-up compartment door. Behind it, you'll find a fixed shelf that's adjustable, in addition with a pull-out style. The release mechanism is on the right. As we go above into the rear section, you'll find your hose bed cover. On the top of that hose bed cover, you'll find these yellow diamonds, which are reflective, indicating the edge of the walkway to indicate for firefighter safety. You do have 2 hatch compartments on the driver's side. First one in the front, and then also one in the rear section. They are housed with LED lighting inside. Let's move to the forward section. Just inside the cargo area is where we're going to find the fill location for your water tank, and then also the fill location for your foam fill for the top. The foam tank does have a warning label on it indicating foam failure, and that you should not mix different brands, consistencies, or types of foam. Let's move to the forward section of the booster reel. You'll find 2 items here. First, where you insert the tool for rewinding in case of failure. The other would be the tensioning nut, which allows you to reduce free spool. Also located on the master stream device, you'll find the release, which allows you to extend your master stream device in an upward manner. Moving forward to this location to the crosslays, you'll find 2 release mechanisms, and then also the ability, once that has been lifted in upward position, this will allow you to hold that in the upward position. On the cab, there are 2 warning labels here, each the same, indicating that this is a non-walking surface. Let's move to the rear of the apparatus, where you'll find ladder storage in addition with hose storage. As we move around, your vehicle is equipped with a powered equipment rack housing a 24-foot extension, 14 roof, and also a 10-foot attic ladder. General view of the side of your apparatus. As we move down from this location, you're going to find mud flaps in the very rear, passenger and driver's side. As we move up from this location, you'll find the rear compartment housing LED lighting and also 2 adjustable shelves. Let's move forward to this position, where you'll find 3 bottle storage locations behind this pan door. There are also retaining straps for those bottles. Let's move forward now to the section just over the rear wheel, where you'll find a pull-up style, same as the opposite side. D-handle allows you to gain access. Once inside, you will find a tool board. D-handle allows you to open that tool board. You can have tools on the outside and also in the inside. When this is open and locked position, the tool board will not move. To release that, simply pull on the release mechanism in the upward fashion, which will allow you the tool board to store in its normal position. Just in forward of that, you'll find additional bottle storage locations with retaining straps. Would like to point out extremely hot diesel exhaust temperatures. That's what the warning label at the very top is indicating. Be cautious where you park your vehicle. You do have in the forward compartment 2 additional adjustable shelves and also shoreline inlets. When plugged into shore power, these will be activated. Let's move now to the midsection of your pumper. You can see your crosslays on the very right-hand side of this image and also your booster line at the very top. We'll move downward, discover some of the items within this area. First, let's start with the pan door. Once you gain access into this pan door, you'll find first at the very top, this is the reservoir for your powered equipment rack. Just beneath that, you'll find foam drain. Let's move forward of this location. You're going to find your powered equipment rack. There are instructions on the powered equipment rack switching module, in addition with a green indicator that it is engaged. Just in front of that, you'll find your cab lift. You also have caution and danger information located here, and also operating instructions for raising and lowering. These are the two 2.5-inch discharges on this side. They are clearly marked and color-coded. You'll also find a warning label near those discharges indicating pressure hazard. Be cautious when opening caps under pressure. Located in the pan door, you'll find your foam drain and also the set screw for your internal relief valve. Down at the very bottom, you're going to find all your associated discharge drains. They are color-coded and also labeled. On the back wall of the cab, you'll find passenger and driver side LED lighting. This is a pole light. You do have the ability to raise that above higher than the cab. As we move to the side, entrance into the cab area, you'll find that grab handle to gain entrance, and also you'll find LED lighting lighting up those steps. As we move just inside the officer's area, you'll find a point of entry. You're going to find warning labels on the door panel. In addition, just inside on the hinged area is where you'll find your fill location for your windshield wiper fluid. Up onto the dash area, you're going to find a push air horn. Just beneath that, you'll find two access points for 12-volt power. The very top is USB. The next one down is a barrel style. As we move just to the rear section, this is the passenger side push to talk for your radio system. Overhead, you'll find on and off red and white push on and off lights, and also all of your controls within the dash area. Above the officer seat, you're going to find your driver's side cab body scene and also passenger side cab body scene lights. Located toward the center, you'll find your siren control and PA speaker system. Congratulations, Spokane, Washington, Fire District number 8 on your new fire apparatus, job number 32733. If you have any questions regarding your apparatus, please contact your Hughes Fire Sales Representative. Congratulations and thank you.